Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Amy Giroux, joining you live from my home in Gatineau, Quebec, to yours to deliver what we like to call a global vision, some great news. Over the past couple of episodes, we have been sharing the stories of Canadians from coast to coast to coast, what they have been doing to take action and make change in these challenging COVID times. And if these times haven't been challenging enough, our world literally turned upside down with the brutal killing of George Floyd. Last week on our episode, I gave a shout out to fellow Canadian Matthew Cuesta for his leadership in opening up the dialogue on racism in Canada. He's been featured on CBC and City TV, and now I'm pleased to have him here with some great news, joining us live from Toronto. Good afternoon, Matthew.
Good afternoon, Amy. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm so glad that we were able to connect because I think the story is one that should be shared with all of our young people from coast to coast to coast. I was wondering if you could speak to us a little bit about how you came up with the initiative for cycling for 46 days and 46 kilometers.
It just came to me on a whim. There was no planning, and that's what I'm kind of trying to stress to people today when they're asking me, what am I doing? Who can I donate to? I don't know right now. It happened 6 days ago, and it was picked up by a blog TO, and it blew up from there. So it came to me on a whim. I didn't have a plan. I do have a vision, though, and the vision is to end racism and to start getting uncomfortable in our conversation about racism.
And what has the feedback been?
The feedback has been positive so far. I mean, you do get some criticism. I welcome criticism. The negativity is there as well, but that was expected with such a controversial topic. But the feedback has been great. People have been riding with me. I was talking to you before we started filming that individual from my friend, shouldn't say an individual, a friend from Burlington showed up and surprised me at 4:30 this morning. Was riding the whole 46 with me. I had a couple guys from Strava, the tracking app. I caught them on the loop as well, riding with me. So the reception has been great. The messages have been great, and I'm responding to the negative and the criticism with, I literally say I love you with a heart, and I say please message me personally and tell me how I can do better if you don't think I am doing it the right way. And I'll listen to everybody because I just started this 6 days ago. So I'm welcoming all opinions, both negative and positive.
It's like you said, we really need to get uncomfortable. That's those early 4 a.m. Bike rides, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is great that people are joining in. I was wondering if you could offer some advice to other fellow Canadians about what they can do to take action and make a difference.
The first thing you should do is have those uncomfortable conversations. If you hear, a racial injustice, a racial joke, just ask them, hey, why did you say that? You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be controversial. Just ask them, hey, what made you think of that? Get into their mind. The whole point of what I'm trying to do is getting into the mind and changing the thought process, destroying and rebuilding it, and making people think for 1 second, maybe what I'm doing is wrong. And if that person, I refuse to mention his name, who killed George Floyd, thought for maybe 1 second of those 8 minutes and 46 that he had his knee on his neck, George Floyd would be alive. So there's no blanket solution for racism and prejudice. But I believe if you start within the mind and the heart of a person and make them question their action, that's a start. So my advice to anyone wanting to make a difference is just talk.
Yeah,
speak.
Start having those valuable conversations. I was wondering if you've had any feedback or if you've heard from the Toronto Police. I know that you've asked them to join with you for a portion of your ride.
Yeah, so they're fairly busy at the moment with protests and COVID. I went to school with two people who are officers now. I've been in touch with them. It's on me now. I have to write a mission statement for their upper command. I understand that there's politics involved and chain of command that you have to go up to get approval for stuff like this. I don't expect it happening tomorrow. or next week. If it happens next week, that'd be great. But there's progress in terms of I have contacts. So I'm looking at it that way. And like I said, it's up to me now. I have to put together a mission statement, which I'm taking my time with. I don't want to write it up really quickly. I want to outline everything. And I want to make sure that they know, and I said this on breakfast television and CBC, that I don't understand your anxieties. I don't understand your stresses as an officer. I could not do what you do. I commend you and I respect you. I want you guys to just see from the point of view of a person of color, a visible minority, what maybe we might feel, what our anxieties are feeling, are like, and our stresses if we were to be pulled over or questioned. So I want to bridge the gap and start having that uncomfortable conversation.
Thank you, Matthew. And I look forward to working with you and sharing this story, because I think that you will find through these kinds of positive connections that we will be able to take your voice and platform and really take it across the country. Now I'd like to take you to Calgary, Alberta, where we have Michael Badass joining us with some great news. Michael?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have some great news to report on today from the Netherlands, actually, on the international front, where 2 police officers went above and beyond the line of duty. So after a mother of 5 was admitted to the hospital for having low blood sugar, immediately to the hospital for precautionary measures, 2 police officers not only stayed behind to take care of her 5 children, but they even cooked dinner for them and proceeded to do the dishes afterwards. I think that's a pretty good skill to have and a pretty great story for some great news. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Well, we're really pleased to have you on our show today and hear your story. I used to be a cyclist myself. Amy's probably told you that. And this is a pretty high goal you've set for yourself. Did you ride all the time? Are you an avid cyclist?
I bought a bike last year, so I I took this on my. It's a pretty big challenge for a guy that's been cycling for only a year, but I'm doing pretty well. I've been in the gym most of my life, so I was okay with it in terms of a cardio aspect. It's just using different muscles, I should say.
That's for sure. It's really quite different, and you at 4 o'clock in the morning, I guess you don't have to worry too much about traffic.
No, not zero traffic. It's just me and the birds. So that's why I don't like to stop. 4:30 in the morning, the muscles are cold. So if I keep them warm, keep going, I get better as the kilometers pile up. So it's actually good at that time. I don't have to worry about cars, pedestrians, or anything. I just keep going.
Is your route the same?
Gary, we can't.
Yeah, it's the exhibition loop.
Oh, okay. So in the south end, down by the lake.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't ridden down there. I used to race at the exhibition stadium.
Yeah, that's exactly where I ride.
Well, I used to race there in the Canadian Championships in the 50s. So you weren't born then, but yeah.
No, I wasn't.
But well, I was just asking about the loop, and it is the same every day. And
yeah, the loop's the same every day. It's a great loop. I mean, like I said, even now, if you went out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's not many cars because it's not a through street or anything. So it's pretty good for my goal. I can keep moving and I don't have to stop. I'm alone with my thoughts, and that's where I come up with most of my ideas for the day. So it's good.
Well, I did the same thing. It really worked for me as a young person, and I never had the chance to ride like you're riding around Toronto. I was confined to the track, so the track racing, and it was,
So were you riding a fixed gear? You didn't have brakes or?
Yeah. No brakes, fixed gear.
Yeah.
And my bike, I still have my bike. I still have my track bike. My track bike was built in 1933.
Wow.
It has wooden rims.
Really?
Wooden rims, yeah. And it was used in 6-day races. When I started, we used to race on a track for 6 straight days.
Yeah, I think they still continue that.
Heard about that? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and the old Maple Leaf Gardens was one place I rode all the time. But I think it's great. Now there's some news that came out of Washington that I think you'd be interested in. Bishop Curry, who's the person that married Prince Harry and Meghan, was on TV about a year ago.
Okay.
And he's a black bishop in Washington, D.C., in the Episcopalian Church. He had a tremendous sermon the other day. That's the church that Trump wanted to go and show himself in front of.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is inside. And the bishop said, we now have 2 pandemics. And he says racism is the second pandemic. And so it's worldwide, just like COVID is.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. And his solution that he'd like to see, I wanted to pass this on to you. He said that we have to get back to love one another. It's all about love, loving each individual, and with that, of course, comes respect. And I thought that was interesting, and I could send it to you. I captured it, and
that'd be great.
If you'd like to see it, it's about 18 minutes. But he really used it well, and he connected this pandemic of racism with COVID, and with the mask, and he had the mask on.
Yeah,
The mask isn't to protect me; it's to protect others.
Others, yes.
And it was the whole love thing you see between each other. So I think it's a great message.
No, yeah, and that's what I was telling Amy. I'm responding with a lot of the hate. The first thing I say is, "I love you, brother." And,
great!
And it worked. The other day, I mentioned on Breakfast Television, I did have an individual on one of the posts online commenting, "What's the point of riding his bike? What is this guy doing? You guys, there's no point." And I commented and said, "I see your post. I see your post, brother. DM me, message me personally if you have any suggestions. I love you." And he messaged me and apologized. And he said he was just angry and he's sad. And that's the whole point of what I'm trying to say is if you talk to somebody, you will break down their barrier and they'll talk to you. If you respond with hatred, you're just going to fuel their hatred and nobody is going to get anywhere. So I agree. You have to respond with love.
I'm really pleased to hear you say that. And I'll send you the bishop's message. It really is pretty strong. It's a video message.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
you give it a chance. So, Amy, will you get the email or you have it?
Yes, sure, Terry.
Or I can text it, but if you get it from Michael, send it to me. I will send it to him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And can you send me a picture of that bike or?
Yeah, I can do that. No, I will. I'm disabled, so I can't move fast, right? Go out in the garage and take a shot.
Oh no! If that's too much trouble, no, please. If you have I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you, Matthew, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Sharing with us your vision, right? Because that's what we're all about here at Global Vision. And I'm very excited to report that today Global Vision is launching our National Youth Ambassador Caucus. So for all our young viewers out there who want to get out there and make a difference, this is the place for you to join. And it's on our website at www.globalvision.ca. Take care and stay strong.